The Cincinnati Music and Wellness Coalition is a part of Global Music and Wellness, a nonprofit organization based in Cincinnati, Ohio, USA. Our mission is to promote a culture of wellness through evidence-based recreational music-making wellness programs innovated by Barry Bittman MD. Through the Cincinnati Music and Wellness Coalition, the first community-wide recreational music-making coalition in the USA, over 90 organizations in 6 states actively engage individuals of all ages, including older adults, developmentally disabled, at-risk youth, veterans, immigrants, refugees, those recovering from mental illness and substance abuse, and employee wellness groups. Barry Bittman MD is a neurologist, author, international speaker, researcher, and population health innovator. His work includes the development of community care networks and accountable care organizations, as well as the optimization of medical practice workflows and continuous care protocols. Dr. Bittman's commitment to healthcare transformation is reflected in his extensive population health management experience and innovation. He's the chairman and CEO of the Yamaha Music and Wellness Institute and has served as principal investigator for several published scientific investigations, including 2 molecular research studies focusing on stress reduction at the genomic level, utilizing novel creative music expression strategies.
We have multiple peer-reviewed publications that look at the psychosocial aspects of music making, recreational music making. We've looked at the impact of cost. We've looked at biology. We've looked at cells that fight cancer and viruses. And we've looked at pathways on the genomic level in 2 publications that have basically shown us that we are truly hardwired for music. There's a part of us that resonates with who we are and a part of us that really impacts our DNA. And we're not talking about small changes. We're talking about epigenomic changes that actually influence what we call gene expression. And we've also learned that the pathways that get turned on with stress can sometimes get turned off with music and creative expression. Yet to take it a step further, if we can induce stress and then try to reverse it, we elicit new pathways that were never turned on in the first place.
He has presented his work at leading conferences throughout the world. Dr. Bittman has also received several patents for his work in human physiology and disease exacerbation predictive models. One of the 2 evidence-based programs is Health Rhythms, an enlivening group empowerment drumming program which does not require prior musical experience. The program is all about learning, discovering, enjoying, and sharing musical insights that can help improve quality of life. It is particularly well suited as a stress reduction strategy that builds self-esteem, respect, and empathy.
I find with the clients, a lot of times they come in here and they have a lot of stress they carry in the rooms, a lot of anger, pain, things like that. And it's been very beneficial as far as reducing stress, for one thing. It also helps to elevate moods because our guys have a lot of mood swings when they come in here, up and down. So they talk about that. It builds support in the group too, camaraderie in the group. There's a lot of trust in the group.
Let's begin our Health Rhythms drum session today with a little relaxing exercise.
And let's get our arms outstretched. And we're ready to fly. Feel that sun exhilarating.
I think when we started, we kind of had an introduction of health rhythms and how the research says that it reduces stress, that it's great for all ages. And I think some of the attorneys were a little skeptical of that research at first, but after it was over, they were believers. They said this was a great stress reliever, and they just felt so much better afterwards.
I am from the beautiful Lake Tanganyika, from the rivers that feed the Nile. There would be no Egypt without the waters of Burundi. I miss the lake,
mu gihugu
all kinds of
cyiza
fish,
kiri mu
so
Lake
good.
Tanganyika. Harimo inzuzi zihanamiye ibigwa bya Nile.
There's one specific resident that stands out in my mind, and this is a child, a teenager, who was abused and neglected and very closed off. However, he always had a smile on his face and never knew what was going on inside. At the end of Health Rhythms, when we were processing, the benefits that he received, he was able to verbally explain how he learned how to express himself through the drumming circles and the writing exercises we were doing.
Clavinova Connection includes a unique series of music wellness exercises that were created to harmonize mind, body, and spirit. The Clavinova is a digital piano designed by Yamaha Corporation. The program has shown to reduce depression, anger, anxiety, and build camaraderie and increase self-esteem. The program does not require prior musical experience and is offered by a trained facilitator.
Today we're doing melodic push-ups. So if you start taking some nice deep breaths, then if you'll move your arms to the top of the music rack and start doing some push-ups, moving your face forward into the piano.
It sure takes your mind off your worries when you come here. And the group is really good.
I tell my friends I play with just one finger, and I have the whole orchestra playing with me. And does that boost your ego?
Since 2012, the Coalition has presented an annual music and medicine conference by bringing in researchers, physicians, and musicians to educate healthcare professionals, social workers, counselors, music therapists, music educators, and the general public on the power of music as a wellness modality.
What we were able to discover is a 48% reduction in total mood disturbance 6 weeks into the program, meaning at the completion of the 6 sessions. What was really interesting, however, is that 6 weeks later, after the people had not drummed, that total mood disturbance actually was reduced further to 62% reduction. Now you're probably saying to yourself, they did pretty good with the activity. Why did they do better when we stopped? Now some of you are saying they were glad to get rid of us, so their mood improved. Actually, that's not the case. What we did with the group is we built in context, meaning we just don't do this as an isolated phenomena, and the context here was rather interesting. It was based on what we call, some people refer to as a 4-letter word, but we call it homework. So the insights that were derived from the group were then taken back to the workplace. They became part of the culture, and through this group drumming process, we were able to change the culture of the organization. What was kind of neat is the actual savings for the group at that time, as calculated and predicted by a group, and that group is Tripp-Umbach Healthcare, one of the leading healthcare consultancies, was basically $400,000.
We take how many endless numbers of medications that may or may not work. I can't tell you how many patients I see in my clinic that take antidepressants and, well, it doesn't work, right? Well, what do? Well, we try another one, right? And so music is very similar to that, and we're learning just a lot about it, and I think the scientific community really holds us to high standards to what gets published and what doesn't get published. And, you know, we need to find this widespread use of techniques that can help. We see it all the time in the clinic. We hear patients come in with their families and caregivers and say, man, this stuff is really helping to get engaged. I feel like I'm a part of my family member's life now. So I feel like this is really meaningful. Arlene has put together a phenomenal conference here, and things like this are really important to what we're doing in individual lives.
The greatest advantage of what's happening here in Cincinnati is not the Clavinova Connection or the Health Rhythms Protocol, it's the coalition. So you don't have to go to a website. You don't have to look up the research. You don't have to try to find a video on YouTube. There are so many wonderful organizations tied to this coalition that you can call them up. You can actually borrow drums. You can share. You can work together. If you need a demonstration for a grantor, you don't need the money to go out and buy the equipment. There are phenomenal people in this room that will open their doors to you and work together. That's what a coalition is really all about. And that's why this is the foremost coalition in the country in music making.
My personal hope is that we will be able to engage all levels and all ages in the community, including children. My hope is to get the schools involved, and wouldn't that be wonderful, especially children with special needs. I do firmly believe that as the program grows, that the actual benefits of it will be seen to be greater than we even know so far.
Since 2008, the Cincinnati Music and Wellness Coalition has helped over 20,000 individuals take an active and meaningful role in their health and well-being. Its common mission brings coalition members together, builds strong bonds, and provides opportunities to work as a team.